Title suggestion: Voyager's whisper. What lies beyond the edge of the solar system? Low, suspenseful music fades in. Voyager 1 survived the void. It crossed the heliopause, the invisible boundary where the sun's influence ends, and entered interstellar space, becoming the farthest human-made object in history. For decades, it sent back invaluable data. Whispers from the dark. Its voice grew fainter, but it never truly stopped speaking. And then, something happened. After months of eerie silence, a corrupted data system, and failed communication attempts, Voyager 1 came back online. But this time, the signal it sent wasn't just noise. It wasn't data in any traditional sense. It was something else. Something darker. A warning. What came through was a low-frequency hum. A gravitational tug from an unknown source. And silence inside NASA that spoke louder than any official statement ever could. This isn't just another anomaly at the edge of space. This is something we've long feared, but never truly believed we'd face. The edge of our solar system may not be a passive frontier. It may be something else entirely. And maybe, it always was. Archival footage fades in. Voyager 1's 1977 launch, mission control clapping, deep space renderings. For over 47 years, Voyager 1 has been a testament to human ingenuity. Launched in 1977, it was never designed to last this long. It was meant to study the outer planets, a brief tour of the solar system. But it kept going. Beyond Saturn. Beyond Pluto. Beyond everything we once called home. It outlived its mission timeline. It defied predictions. It kept transmitting long after we expected silence. And yet, in late 2024, its voice changed. NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory noticed it first. Data became incomprehensible. Streams of meaningful telemetry had turned into garbled noise. Not just interference, a kind of digital madness. Voyager's flight data system, its onboard memory and processor, had glitched. And for 5 months, the spacecraft was in limbo. Still transmitting, still alive. But no one knew if it could understand us. Each command we sent took nearly 23 hours to arrive. And if it could answer, it would take another 23 to hear its reply. A 45-hour wait. Every time. It was a slow, uncertain conversation across light years of emptiness. Music builds subtly. Soft electronic pulses, echoing signals, and then, against all odds, it spoke. On March 20, 2025, Voyager responded with more than a ping. It sent data. Structured, organized. But different. At first, NASA celebrated. They had re-established communication with humanity's most distant emissary. But as the data was decoded, that celebration turned into concern. The instruments were working. The spacecraft was stable. But what it was reporting wasn't. Visuals. Graphs with plasma spikes, color-enhanced space storm models. Voyager had crossed into a region more turbulent than any model predicted. What scientists expected to be a smooth transition into interstellar space, a fading gradient of particles, was anything but. What Voyager encountered was a wall. A chaotic frontier of pressure spikes, plasma storms, and radiation bursts. The edge of the solar system wasn't fading. It was resisting. This wasn't a subtle shift in solar wind. This was a rupture, as if something had been disturbed. One detail stood out more than the rest: the particle density. Voyager had recorded wild fluctuations. Massive compressions and expansions, as if space itself was being squeezed and released, like a breath. A pulse. A heartbeat. Consistent, rhythmic. Mapped across multiple instruments. This wasn't mechanical error. It wasn't static. It was something real, something environmental. Something alive? Music fades low, a slow hum begins in the background, and then came the signal. Buried deep in the noise, a steady, narrow band frequency. Unmodulated, undeniable. 3 kHz. A tone too low for natural plasma wave activity. Too steady to be random. This wasn't new. Voyager had recorded it faintly years before, but it was dismissed background hum, interference, nothing more. Now, the signal was clearer. Sharper. More intentional. It didn't react to solar activity. It didn't fade during electromagnetic events. It held steady, constant, unchanging like a beacon. And the closer Voyager moved toward a particular region, the more focused it became. It didn't grow louder. It grew more precise. This wasn't just background noise. This was structure. Order. And with that came a chilling thought. What if Voyager wasn't just hearing the void? What if something was transmitting? Cut to black, ominous tone, and then came the anomaly. Voyager's path began to shift. Its trajectory, once perfectly predicted for decades, was now deviating. Not wildly, but measurably. Something was pulling it. Not propulsion, not hardware drift. A consistent external force. A gravitational pull from nothing. NASA scanned the region Voyager was headed toward. No stars, no planets. No light, no radiation. No detectable mass, just emptiness. And the pull persisted. Closing line of Part 1, quiet, intense delivery. The data didn't explain it. The models couldn't account for it. And the deeper Voyager moved, the clearer the signal became. Something was waiting beyond the edge of the solar system. And whatever it is, it knows Voyager is there. Fade to black, low, draw. Title suggestion. Voyager 1 wasn't just heard. It was answered. Soft electronic tones return, eerie, pulsing rhythm beneath narration. Voyager's path was no longer its own. It was being drawn slowly, steadily toward a place where nothing should exist. No known stars. No planets. No heat. No light. And yet, something invisible was exerting a force. Subtle, but undeniable. The math didn't lie. Voyager wasn't falling into a gravitational well. It was being led. Drawn. And with every kilometer it drifted deeper, the signal grew more distinct. Not louder. Not stronger. But clearer. Like a frequency moving into focus. Like a voice, waiting for the right ear to hear it. Visual. Dark starfield, overlays of Voyager's projected path and real path diverging. NASA began redirecting space-based observatories and deep radio arrays toward the anomaly. Nothing was found. No mass signature. No electromagnetic echo. No energy emissions. Just an absence. A perfect, unsettling void. They tried everything: gravitational lensing models, dark matter maps, X-ray spectrometry. Still, nothing. But Voyager kept drifting. And the pull continued, calculated, smooth, unwavering. Like gravity with intent. Tone shifts. NASA silence, media speculation. Then something changed here on Earth. NASA's mission updates, once regular, detailed, even celebratory, grew vague. Timelines were delayed. Technical logs were redacted. Public briefings were replaced with one-line statements. And inside the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, whispers began to circulate. Closed-door meetings. Security audits. Unusual visitors from agencies outside the scientific community. NASA had gone quiet. Not because there was nothing to say, but because something had been said that couldn't be shared. Something Voyager had found. Or perhaps, something that had found Voyager. Footage. Voyager blueprints, old control rooms, blinking consoles. Independent researchers tried to pick up where NASA left off. Some said the signal was a plasma resonance trapped in the interstellar medium. Others proposed a pocket of condensed dark matter dense enough to alter Voyager's path. But then came the more radical theories. That the frequency 3 kHz wasn't a natural phenomenon. That it was structured. Engineered. Deliberate. That Voyager hadn't just entered a turbulent region. It had crossed into something else. A domain. A threshold. A kind of interstellar perimeter not built of particles and fields but of intent. Visuals shift. Abstract space art, machine-like structures woven through dark matter clouds. Some theorists began to connect the dots. They revisited the faint anomalies recorded by Pioneer 10 and 11 in the 1980s. Tiny, unexplained decelerations. Dismissed at the time as heat-based thrust irregularities. But now, seen in a new light. What if those early probes brushed against a boundary? A membrane. And what if Voyager pierced it? What if the signal wasn't simply noise, but a trigger? Not a broadcast. A response. Music builds tension-layered tones, echoing pulses like sonar in deep water. And then came the most unsettling theory of all. What if Voyager wasn't just detecting space? What if it had been detected? What if, by crossing a certain line, we didn't just observe the void, we activated something? Something waiting. Not asleep. Not inert. Just, restrained. Watching. Measuring. Until now. Visuals. Earth from space, fading radio signals, Voyager drifting in blackness. Even the most grounded scientists began to ask uncomfortable questions. We've always seen space as empty. A silent canvas for our ambitions. A place to explore, to map, to conquer. But what if it isn't empty? What if it's a system? Not chaotic, but regulated. Not dead, but designed. And like any system, maybe it has parameters. Maybe it has limits. Maybe it has guardians. Long pause, music fades to a low hum again. Voyager was never meant to return. It was our farewell to the stars. A golden record. A message in a bottle. But against all odds, it spoke again. And the message it brought back wasn't comfort. It was consequence. It was not a discovery. It was a reaction. Cut to silence. Just the 3 kHz tone beneath, the signal continues. The gravitational pull grows. And the data, however limited, suggests only one direction: deeper. Deeper into a region that breaks every model, every theory. A place that should not exist. And yet, undeniably does. And so the question returns. Was sending Voyager out there a mistake? Final visuals. Voyager silhouetted against a starless backdrop. Because if the universe is watching, and if Voyager has drawn its gaze, then we have to ask not just what's out there, but what comes next? Closing music swells eerie, haunting synth tones. Do you believe Voyager is being pulled by chance? Or by design? Is the darkness just space? Or is it something more? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're ready to follow the next whisper from the void, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Because whatever's out there,